It's very tough, but there's one thing that I'm sure of is that I'm just not ashamed of it. The only difference is that I'm here and I'm alive and I...
You know, but I am going to say, you know, Kanye sometimes be off his meds. He should just stay on the good meds. Don't make him do the dumb shit, because if he says 100 things, you'd be like, those 4 was dope. But that other 96, that was crazy.
Julia Fox is spiraling fast, and it's getting messy. Word on the streets is that the chaos started after Marlon Wayans allegedly threatened to leak a private tape involving her and Kanye West. That's wild, right? The whole mess exploded during what was supposed to be a simple promo interview for her new movie with Marlon. But instead of friendly banter, Julia reportedly threw shade and disrespected him right there on camera. Now, anyone who knows Marlon knows he doesn't take disrespect lightly. And apparently, Julia's about to learn that lesson in the hardest way possible. Sources say she's absolutely terrified right now, and her team is in full panic mode, trying to clean up the PR disaster that's already blowing up across social media. The movie, it's rumored to be tanking before it even hits theaters, and the internet can't stop asking, what does Kanye think about all this talk of a leaked tape? How did a promo interview turn into a full-blown scandal with possible receipts? Don't worry, I'm about to break this all down for you because this story is crazier than anyone expected. We're happy, and we're singing, and we're brothers. Give me a high five. Yeah, that Marlon, the same one who had us laughing for years, is now caught in some serious drama.
You know, there's masculinity.
But what are real men?
Right. To me, a real man is a responsible man.
Because every time a man does some fuck shit, they'll be like, that's not a real man. And it's like, looks like a man to me.
I think a real man is in touch with his feminine
looks like a duck
side,
and it walks like a duck. I mean? Yeah.
When this story hit the internet, fans instantly split into two camps. Some say Marlon went way too far by threatening to leak that alleged tape, while others think Julia had it coming for being downright disrespectful. So here's how it all went down. They were on set for a regular promo interview to hype up their new movie together. Nothing deep, just the usual Hollywood talk. But everything flipped the moment the host asked about what makes a real man. Marlon tried to share his thoughts, but Julia kept cutting him off over and over again, like she was doing it on purpose. People watching said the energy was off from the start, and Marlon's face said it all. By the time she interrupted him for the third or fourth time, it was clear things were about to blow. You could practically feel the tension building, and sure enough, Marlon wasn't having it. He felt humiliated on camera. But the real question is, how do we go from a heated argument to talk of an alleged tape leak? Things just don't add up yet. Word on the streets is there was way more tension behind the scenes than anyone realized. Allegedly, while filming, Julia made some very insensitive comments about the LGBTQ+ community, and that's when things really took a turn. Marlon didn't take it lightly, and honestly, who could blame him? For those who don't know, Marlon's child, who was assigned female at birth, has transitioned into a man, and Marlon has always stood 10 toes down in supporting him. He's spoken about it openly, with love and pride, in multiple interviews, always making it clear that his child has his full support. In one interview, he even said he'd go to war for his kid. And on Instagram, he once wrote, "Happy Pride to all my LGBTQ+ peoples. P.S. I'm straight. Well, according to my child, cisgender male. I just love and support my peoples." That post alone showed how proud he is to stand by his family. So when Julia allegedly dropped those comments on set, it wasn't just a casual mistake. It hit deep. People close to production say the air instantly shifted, and from that point on, Marlon's patience was gone. We still don't know if Julia meant to be hateful or if her words just came off wrong, but either way, the damage was done. Even if Julia didn't mean her comments in a transphobic way, the damage was already done. Nobody knows exactly what went down that day, but it's pretty clear that Marlon was already holding some kind of grudge toward her. So when she showed up at that interview acting slick and disrespectful, something inside him just snapped. That's when things allegedly got ugly. And he made the shocking threat that's now making headlines everywhere. Sources say it wasn't just anger, it was payback. Marlon allegedly wanted Julia to feel the same embarrassment she caused him. And that explains why he reportedly jumped straight to threatening her with that supposed tape instead of trying to talk things out like adults. He wanted her to feel it. And let's be real, that was the one button you don't push with Julia. Her relationship with Kanye West was already one of the most humiliating chapters of her career. Everyone saw it. Kanye clearly used her to get under Kim Kardashian's skin, and the whole world could tell.
Is about my daughter. I have a daughter that transitioned into a son. My daughter Amai is now Kai.
Truthful.
And so
True, okay.
And so I talk about the transition, not her their transition, but my transition as a parent, going from ignorance and denial to complete unconditional love and acceptance. Gotcha. And I think there's a lot of parents out there that need to have that message.
When they hard launched their relationship back in January 2022, it was chaos. They showed up at a Broadway show like a power couple, but all eyes were on Julia's outfit, head to toe Balenciaga, totally giving Kanye built this energy. She was practically dressed like Kim 2.0, rocking the same signature look that Kanye curated for his ex. It was bold, dramatic, and a little desperate. And the internet never forgot it. It gets even wilder from here because after that Broadway play, Kanye didn't just take Julia anywhere. He took her straight to Carbone, Kim Kardashian's all-time favorite restaurant in New York City. Come on, that wasn't a coincidence. Everyone could see what was really happening. Kanye was clearly using Julia to poke at Kim and make her jealous. But poor Julia, she didn't catch on at all. Instead of reading the room, Julia was out here bragging like she'd won the jackpot. She couldn't stop talking about how obsessed Kanye was with her. She even gave a full interview to Interview magazine, where she spilled every detail about their whirlwind romance like it was a fairy tale. She said, "I met Ye in Miami on New Year's Eve, and it was an instant connection. His energy is so fun to be around. He had me and my friends laughing, dancing, and smiling all night. She was glowing, totally convinced this was the real thing." But that wasn't even the wildest part. She went on to say, "We decided to keep the energy going and fly back to New York City to see Slave play. After the play, we chose to do dinner at Carbone, which is one of my favorite restaurants, obviously." Girl, she really said obviously, like she didn't notice she was walking straight into Kim Kardashian's stomping grounds. The whole thing screamed calculated chaos, and everyone knew it, except Julia. Julia really thought she was living a movie. She went on to say that while they were at the restaurant, "You directed an entire photo shoot for me while people dined. The whole restaurant loved it and cheered us on while it was happening. Fans instantly dragged her for that one. One person even said, 'The whole restaurant loved it.' Girl, that line took me out. People couldn't believe how deep she was in the fantasy, but Julia didn't stop there. She kept spilling more tea. She said after dinner, Kanye had a surprise waiting for her, an entire hotel suite full of designer clothes. She called it every girl's dream come true, saying it felt like a real Cinderella moment. She gushed, "I don't know how he managed it or got everything there on time, but I was completely shocked. Like, seriously, who does something that over the top on a second date?" But honestly, it was giving big Kanye clearing out Kim's closet and refilling it with a new muse's wardrobe energy. That was his signature move. New girl, new look, new drama. But here's the kicker. The romance didn't even last long. After all that, Kanye reportedly dumped Julia just weeks later. The whole whirlwind barely lasted 2 weeks. 1 minute, she was living a fairy tale. The next, she was yesterday's headline. That's Hollywood heartbreak for you. It was beyond humiliating for Julia, and you can totally see why she'd be terrified about any alleged tape leaking. Imagine Kanye yelling the wrong name in the middle of their so-called romance. The whole thing was messy from the start.
Is it so bad to keep things?
Like, you gotta ready, clean out everything.
She later admitted she deeply regretted the entire relationship, saying, "I regret that relationship so much. I hate it. It was only a few weeks, but enough to last me a lifetime. I was in probably the most uncomfortable position in my life." She even confessed she realized early on that she was being used, just a pawn in Kanye's game to get under Kim's skin. But here's where it gets even darker. The whispers about this alleged tape aren't just about intimacy. According to people claiming to have seen it, the footage supposedly shows Julia and Kanye engaging in some illegal substances together. Yeah, if that's true, that's a major problem. Now, to be fair, Julia has always been open about her wild past. She's talked publicly about substance use and how she's worked hard to stay clean. But if this alleged tape really exists and shows her back in that world, that could destroy everything she's been rebuilding. Her image, her career, her credibility, all of it could crash overnight. And honestly, if that's what Marlon was threatening to leak, no wonder she's panicking right now. But here's the wild part. These rumors about Julia allegedly doing substances with Kanye didn't just pop up now. They've actually been floating around since 2022. And guess who was the first to spill that messy tea? None other than Azealia Banks. She went all the way off online, claiming Kanye and Julia were allegedly using together. And she didn't hold back one bit. Azealia wrote, "Kanye and smarting dog food, aka heroin, with his girl already. It's confirmed. The boy's grieving Virgil and his mom. Bless. But a dirty junkie who was shooting while she was pregnant equals calamity. Y'all gassing him now, but you'll be calling him a dope head in 3 months. Like, whew. She really said that out loud. Then she kept going.
But I am gonna say, Kanye sometimes be off his meds. He should just stay on the good meds. Don't make him do the dumb shit. Because if he says 100 things, you be like, those 4 was dope. But that other 96, that shit was crazy.
We already know that, T-Full. Yeah, you came to Miami looking for S-word. Same lawyer was in contract with Yeah, and it was a weak PR stunt from the jump. What did you hustle him for? A bag in solutions? The things you made public about your substance use, stuff he probably didn't even know in the beginning, are not what he needs attached to him in any custody battle that might come up during his divorce. You're a liability. It was brutal, and Azalea didn't sugarcoat a single word. But Julia clapped back, saying she wasn't hiding from her past at all. She admitted she'd been through dark times, but she made it crystal clear that she was clean now and had nothing to be ashamed of. She said she'd faced her demons, owned them, and moved forward. But let's be honest, these resurfacing rumors aren't doing her any favors right now. Julia fired back, saying, I'm open about my issues with addiction because I want to destigmatize it. Not all addicts are junkies. It's a real disease. I've also been open about my recovery journey, and honestly, that was a powerful statement. She owned her truth. But now, with this rumored tape possibly showing her using again while claiming to be clean, that honesty could backfire in the worst way. If that footage is real, it's going to be a PR nightmare she might never recover from. Now here's where things get even messier. People are asking, how did Marlon even get his hands on this alleged tape? And the whispers in the streets say that Kanye himself might have been the one to film it, and then allegedly started showing it around. And if that's true, that's straight up cruel. But also, it's totally something Kanye would do. Remember, he pulled similar stunts when he and Kim Kardashian were still married, showing private stuff just to prove a point or get attention. So it wouldn't be shocking if he repeated that behavior with Julia. And speaking of Kanye, it looks like there's already tension brewing between him and Marlon. Just a few weeks ago, Marlon made some slick comments hinting that Kanye might be dealing with a substance problem himself. The shade was thick, and now it's got everyone wondering, was this feud personal all along? Take a listen and see what you think. Yeah. It's starting to look like Marlon might be trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone if he really is behind this alleged tape leak. But the whole situation is spiraling out of control. Fast. Julia's team is scrambling behind the scenes, doing everything they can to shut the story down before it explodes even more. Meanwhile, Marlon's camp is staying suspiciously silent, which honestly makes the rumors sound even worse. And Kanye, he's probably somewhere acting like he has no clue what's going on, like this isn't the same drama storm he created in the first place. But let's keep it real. If that alleged tape ever sees the light of day, it won't just wreck Julia's reputation, it's gonna drag Kanye right down with her. Because the second that footage drops, all those old rumors, all that buried drama, it's all coming back up like vomit. And when it does, Hollywood will never look at Julia or Yeah the same again. This could be the scandal that flips both their careers upside down for good. If you made it this far, hit that like, subscribe, and share button, and tell me in the comments what you think really went down. Until next time, fam, I'll see you in the next one.